Hey everybody, welcome back to Crib Talk. I heard about the most fantastic development that's going on in the EastCape, and if any of you know the EastCape, it's kind of one of those up and coming areas. And I heard about this fabulous boutique project, and I don't really know a lot about it, but I did find the owner, and he's sitting here with me today, Derrick.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Derrick. Thanks and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I've heard some stuff about this boutique hotel.
It's a boutique
resort?
property.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a boutique property with an emphasis on boutique.
Okay.
Right. So there are
Fancy.
It's fancy, I think, in more of like a modern term.
Okay.
More than like an 80s term.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like everything that we do. That our company does is always really based around wellness, health, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so there's 4 residences there. That's where it becomes like boutique.
There's 4 residences. Now does that mean houses or is that condos?
So they're sort of condo style. So this is how it's laid out. There's a 4-bedroom on the lower level.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a pretty big suite.
Yeah, it's a 4-bedroom estate is what we call it.
Okay, nice.
And then there's a 1-bedroom pool suite.
Okay.
Okay, that's it's small, but it's really nice because it's got its own pool.
Okay.
And then on the penthouse, which would be the second level above the 4-bedroom.
Okay.
There is a 1-bedroom penthouse and a studio penthouse.
Okay.
Okay. Now the 4-bedroom has a pool.
Yeah.
And then
it's got its own private pool.
It's got its own private pool.
Okay.
And the 1-bedroom pool suite has its own private pool. And then the penthouses have access to a hotel pool that's also on the property. But again, emphasis on boutique.
Okay.
There's a boutique hotel.
So each of the units sounds like they have their own amenities.
They do.
And then they've got some extra amenities that would be like a common area for everybody to use.
Yeah. So there is a spa on property, which is really nice. There will be a sauna.
Okay.
There is a hot tub. There's a cold plunge for people that are into cold plunge.
Nice. You know, the cold plunge thing.
There's a nice
really
yoga pad, right? Yeah. Nice green yoga pad.
Okay.
And showers, a couple service rooms too. So if someone wanted to get a massage, or, do something like that. And then it's a 1-minute walk to the beach. So pretty rough life.
Yeah, no kidding. And one of the nicest beaches on the planet.
Yeah, literally nobody.
Stunning.
There.
So your view is spectacular.
It's ocean. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what's really unique about the property is it's not ocean front.
Okay.
But there's a road and you're on the non-ocean side of the road. But for anybody that's been out to the EastCape, it's like a road that has like a car every hour. Right. And so what's really nice is an arroyo goes at an angle, like at an angle in front of the view.
Yeah.
Which protects that view because it's federal land.
Right. So someone's going to get built in front of you, but obviously it's going to be at a lower level.
No, there won't be anything built in front because of the arroyo. Yeah.
Okay.
On the side. So there will always be this alley view of the ocean.
Well, I'd love
Great view.
I mean, we'd love to show some of that stuff to our viewers as well. So is this boutique resort, are these units for sale? How are you doing this? Is it fractional? What is it?
So like our niche, so we're the Coveted Group, and our niche is what I would call pleasure fractional.
Okay, and what other products, or if you have any other products around that people might know, so to kind of know you by?
Yeah. So the number one project that people would know us by would be Flora Farms.
Oh, that's very famous. Yes, everybody knows Flora Farms.
Yeah. So we basically head up the real estate arm of Flora Farms.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we know Flora Farms is very, very bougie and just it's all about wellness and
it is
and quality.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. Only I'd say about 3% of people that visit Flora Farms even know that people live on Flora Farms.
That you guys have residences there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it's just like a big forest.
Yeah, and we don't cram it down people's throat.
Yeah.
it's like very like, behind the scenes, like you kind of, if you know, right?
Right.
And that usually ends up being about 3%.
And you're not just packing them in there either. Like it's pretty low density, I would say.
Yeah. So we've got, there's 3 communities there.
Uh-huh.
There's the culinary cottages, the hillside haylofts, and now the lofts.
Nice.
So the cottages has 10, the hillside haylofts has 10, and then there's some more residences at the lofts.
Okay. What benefits do fractional ownership models have over traditional ownership, especially in Casablanca?
Well, I'll tell you, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
And we get it a lot. And the thing is that we've converted a lot of whole ownership owners to fractional owners.
Right.
And I'll tell you, it sort of has to do with like, a lot of times whole ownership, even though it can be great, and it can be great for people and it can work for many people, but it can also sort of be a romance killer,
right?
If you will, right? Because people, for example, EastCape is a great example.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people will go out to the EastCape of Los Cabos, they'll discover it, and they're just like, what on earth, where are we?
Exactly.
I want to live out here.
Yes.
And so they'll start looking around, and there's no inventory really that anyone can buy out there. And then they're like, you know what, I'm just going to build a home.
Right.
So then they hire a builder, and now they just
becomes
basically
a nightmare.
they ruin the romantic idea.
The nightmare just began.
Yeah. And so there's so many of those people that I meet.
Yeah.
And so this is where fractional has a great home, right? Especially in a place like that. We're the only people that are doing fractional out there.
Right.
And not only are we the only ones doing fractional, we're the only ones that do fractional that gives you pleasure,
right?
Instead of fractional gives you pain.
Okay.
So there's different levels of fractional.
And you're going for a lower density thing. Like that's really where you get into the luxury stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's turnkey.
When companies start sardining people in, they're selling the same unit multiple times, and you can't even use it yourself. That's where
I would call that timeshare.
I think that's the dirty word, timeshare.
So timeshare would be extremely different.
Yeah.
So like what we do is we only do deeded fractional.
Okay.
It's all a true asset class.
Right.
People own it in perpetuity. They own it forever.
This is what is very important to distinguish the difference between fractional and timeshare.
Yeah.
So fractional comes with the deed, you own it.
That's right. Okay. Or it's timeshare that they call it fractional.
They definitely tried to slip that one on.
Right. So and then there's so many broken things of fractional, and so people have to always beware because there's other types of fractional, which is they own fractional, let's say at a residence, I don't know, like at Vail.
Yeah.
But the deeds to like a property, like I don't know, in Iowa.
Right.
So like it's deeded ownership, but not the same property.
Exactly.
So what we do is we don't do. There's no like
sharing, timeshare trading.
There's no goofiness.
Yeah.
Like we sell specific inventory.
Okay.
And a specific dwelling, and those people that own it in perpetuity. Right. Okay, it can be a legacy product if they want to leave it to their children or whatever. It's for generations, or it can be an exit strategy. Maybe someone wants to own it for 10 years, 20 years, and then sell it. The thing that's important to understand about it is it really is an asset class. It's like owning actual real estate.
Okay.
But instead of owning the whole home, you own January, or you own February.
And you're not tied to the maintenance. That's all taken care of.
Well, that's a great question. There obviously is an annual cost, right?
Yeah, but they're not the ones that are having to do the maintenance. Like there's somebody there that's going to do it. There's your annual fees. It's all taken care of for you.
It's totally turnkey. No bandwidth.
Yeah.
So the number one thing with so we have a lot of like extremely wealthy clients, right? That they could buy 20 of our properties and just own them outright.
Yeah.
The reason that they go with us and they go with fractional with us is because we sell fractional, it gives them pleasure.
Yeah.
And that pleasure has to do with not carrying any bandwidth, for it being turnkey, and they come in and it's all ready for them. There's like the refrigerator stocked, everything's ready to go. It is an experience. So all of our projects are experience driven.
Okay.
But it comes without them having to think about it.
Okay.
And so all the things that are important to these people, these high net worth individuals that are important to them when it comes to vacation, we've already thought about it. We already know. We do that. That's how we travel. Now, so we handle it.
Now, say they buy a month or they buy 2 months and they get that every single year, and something comes up and they got to go somewhere else in the world, and so their month is going to be empty. Can they monetize that?
Yes, absolutely. They can throw it into the renter pool.
Okay.
And they're going to make anywhere between 60 and 70% on that rental.
Okay.
They're going to do well.
Okay. And you guys take care of all that.
Everything is turnkey.
Everything from the bookings to the cleanings, like they don't have to do anything other than collect their money.
Literally collect their money or enjoy their stay.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What inspired the design of Casablanca?
I come from an art background.
Okay.
I went to the School of Art Institute of Chicago. I was a sculpture major. I've always been a big design guy. In fact, I designed the restaurant we're in right now, Outpost.
Okay. Yeah.
I do pretty much everything hands-on. And I have a rule of just form following function, right? So I figure out what the functionality of a property needs to be.
Okay.
And I want it to have a sense of place. And then I design outward from there.
Okay.
So I design from the inside out.
Okay. Well, and a lot of people might do it the other way around.
They do.
Really finding the DNA of the clientele that you want to have in your restaurants or your resorts and building it out specifically for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. What types of properties do you guys focus on in your fractional offerings? Is it just the ones that you're speaking about earlier, or do you guys have plans for anything else?
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff. We've got a 200-acre project up in northern Arizona that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's called Smith Butte Ranch.
Sounds like another podcast.
It would be. There's another property actually just north of this Casablanca property that's called Nine Palms Ranch. Also a big property.
Yeah.
We have another property in Wisconsin that we're doing. All of it is experience-driven, fractional real estate. Okay, so it's all like turnkey stuff where people can go and just sort of, connect to the land, if you will. And they're all different. They all have a different sense of place.
Okay, so there's going to be multiple variable types of units that people can purchase from you. Everything from condos to houses. It sounds like maybe even ranches.
Yeah, like ranch homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they all have kind of this fractional aspect to them.
They do.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they all have a luxury aspect to them.
A luxury aspect to them. So it sounds like if they keep their portfolio with you guys, they're going to be able to kind of bounce around from different properties because you're offering properties in different locations as well.
That's correct.
Sounds like nice, warm, dry locations as well.
Yeah. With the exception of Wisconsin.
Okay,
but,
Wisconsin.
Go there in the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Might get a little bit of rain.
Yeah,
in the spring.
But it's super pretty. Like everything that we're doing there is very pretty.
So Derrick, I'm hearing about this hotel ownership aspect to Casablanca. Can you?
Who you been talking to?
Well, it's a small town.
I guess so.
Tell us all about it.
Well, so it hasn't been released yet, but we are releasing it like literally in the next week or so.
And that's part of Casablanca.
It is.
Okay.
So we've got those 4 residences that I was talking about.
Okay.
But on the ocean side, there are and the property does sit at an angle.
Right.
And so, on a hillside, right?
Yes. So it's kind
the
of
residences are higher up,
Okay.
and then on the lower level of the hill, there's these 5 boutique suites.
Okay.
And again, boutique is the key word here, right? We're selling those suites individually so people can buy them. So.
So this isn't a fractional.
It's fractional in one way.
Okay.
Like it's basically we're taking a hotel and we're selling the suites.
Okay.
There's 5 suites and people can buy them, but they buy them in perpetuity for a year. Meaning, let's say that you bought a suite. You would own it 365 days a year, that suite.
Okay.
You can use it anytime you want.
Yeah.
And when you're not using it, you make 50% of all the revenue generated and you get paid out monthly.
Oh, okay. So you're not just buying a month, you're buying 365 days of the year.
Yep.
You can either leave it sit empty.
Yeah,
if you're
crazy.
If you're crazy.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point of doing it this way is that so that somebody has a place to go when they want to go and they can be there for a month.
That's right.
But then just kill it in rentals for the rest of the year.
That's right. And the rental there is very good. It's very strong because of location.
And because you're buying it outright, you're not kind of paying for a fractionalized portion of it, which you do pay. Obviously, you're going to pay a lot more for just a fraction per square foot or per day rather than the entire thing.
Yeah, you're not paying any operational costs. You're not paying any annualized costs. You only pay 50% of the rental whenever you use it.
Yes.
And whenever you're not using, you're making 50% of it.
Oh, okay.
It's literally, you can use it anytime you want.
Sounds like a no-brainer, guys.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of product out there like this.
There really isn't.
So
there's nothing like this. And based on on the pro forma, basically people make their money back in about 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like a pretty good investment.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What is the next big thing for the Coveted Group? What do you guys plan? What's up your sleeve?
Well, stay the course, right? We
finish what you have.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're constantly in acquisition mode.
Yeah.
But because we have a lot going on right now, we're kind of slowing it down a little bit.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean like our eyes aren't always open, right? So we're constantly looking at acquisitions, and we're constantly having meetings and working potential deals. We do a lot of joint ventures with different people, landowners, developers, things like that. And we also flip out of properties.
Okay.
Like, we've gotten a couple really strong offers on our Smith Butte Ranch project. Okay. And we're not even out of the gates. Okay. If we end up flipping out of that property and maybe doing a different, thing, those things can kind of happen. Okay. But, there's always the things that are up front, which would be like Casa Blanca, which is just sort of like right now. Yeah. And then you've got projects like maybe the next one's Smith Butte, and then Pine Marsh.
Sounds like we have a couple more podcasts that we're going to have to plan for
good
the
stuff.
future.
Yeah.
But let's stick to Casablanca because that's what I heard about, and everybody's talking about it. Yeah. And I haven't been out there yet, so I haven't seen what's going on. I haven't seen the property, which I'm going to come out and see it. Have you guys started the project? When do you foresee this thing open and up and running?
It's a really great question. So like when people buy with us now, when they buy early, they're basically buying pride of ownership, right? Like they're not going to use it. They're not going to have use of it until 2027. Okay.
Do they have, is there some sort of a pay structure where they pay a little bit up front, or do they pay for it?
They pay kind of all up front. We do have financing. So some people finance, some people pay cash. Right. Obviously, people that pay cash get a great deal. There's and we also sell in tiers. Yes. So we have like price tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right. 4 is the most expensive when it's already realized and there's no leap of faith. Price tier 1, there's a little bit of leap of faith involved, but we are well on our way with construction. You can walk into the 4-bedroom. Okay. There, appliances are already in the 4-bedroom.
Oh, you're coming to a finished product.
Yeah,
where
pool's almost finished. Okay. Yeah. And then the penthouses we haven't started on yet, but the 1-bedroom pool suite, the 4-bedroom, we'll have those wrapped up in the next 6 months or so. Okay. There's also a bunkhouse on the property. Okay. There's a 4-person staff that will live on site. So
sounds like it's all coming together. Well, this isn't your first rodeo.
It's not.
You guys have done this, and you're just basically duplicating the successful projects that you had done before. Yeah. Wash, rinse, repeat. Yep. And your dedication and your persistence to building quality products is really going to be your legacy. Yeah. And it's great to meet good young developers like you guys. I wish you guys all the best. I mean, it sounds like an amazing project. We're going to have to get out there and check it out.
Please do.
And
whenever you want.
And we'll have to talk about all the other stuff that you guys got going on.
Sounds great.
Awesome, Derrick. Yeah. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Derrick. It's great having young entrepreneurs on the show here. Derrick's got a really viable product, another one. I mean, just one of the many products that Derrick's already created. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any questions about Casablanca, we're going to put Derrick's information up here. You can either give him a call or send him an email. He'd love to answer your questions. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Derrick.
Yep, thank you.
Awesome.